Good morning, everybody. What is up? I forgot to get the frickin' webcam on. Shdoobity-doobity-doop. All right, guys. I've been doing some very interesting things recently that you may or may not find compelling, that may or may not be within the next couple days. Few days, I don't know. I think there's a lot to look forward to in AoE right now, though. All right. I do have lots of stuff. I have a lot of stuff to do today, so hopefully these guys can get their butts moving. It's only medium. Well, we gotta ramp up those rookie numbers. Da, 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 da. It is a fire set, so, you know. You know. You know. Older with his ridiculous ideas messaging me. Well, we can take a look at the bracket. Ideas aren't too ridiculous. I'll be the judge of that. Yeah, there really hasn't been that much Gold League happening. Oh, Prisma is doing quite well. Valos 2-2, Villas. Oh, Villas is 1-3, but 6-6 tied with Valos. That's rough. That is rough. What the heck? Tie? Oh, that's awkward right now for sure. Some wild stuff? Well, we'll have to see. Yeah, it does make things kind of confusing. Anyway, if we check the schedule on the spec dashboard, there's also Overtaken versus Prisma in 52 minutes. Here we are. Looks like they have just started, so we can do our gritty. There have been some tough ones recently. Does not have access to Guard Tower. Has access to Arson, Gambesons, and Squires. Oh, let's also move my face back over here. Unique tech affecting archery range or archery range archery units. Access to BBC but not BBT. Every other civ has. Oh boy. Has access to plate mail armor. This I think is only Sicilians. Archery range. It's gonna be humans. And this can be Goths. Yeah, there are not many civs that don't have guard towers, just these 3 plus Huns. Oh, thanks, Full Metal Zim. Nandy's going through the loss? The loss of what? Yeah, that one's easy. Like there's sometimes things that are like very specific and challenging. This is not it. Yeah, this is like a lot. So misses an upgrade or technology. Urchins. Everyone else has longswords. Has unique tech affecting archery range. Ooh. In 20 HP? Yeah, that sounds possible. Burmese. For leather archer armor, every other. And yeah, shoe work here because every other civ has iron casting. Yep. All right, so I mean, this is a ton of civs. You can just do Teutons here. Light bearing armor and unique tech affecting archery range. It's gonna be Britons. And bomber cannons, but no bombard towers. This can be Saracens. Yeah, this like the last row is like a joke, man. But yeah, Mapuche don't have squires, which is a big deal. Yeah, this one is very very simple. Ah, every other civ in AoE2 has horse collar and heavy plow, except Ketons. I was wondering what that was. Saracens, no cavalier, but access to knights. Teutons, light scout cav, but no light cav. Shoe, iron casting, Jurchens, men at arms, Dravidians. Battle elephant, but no elite battle elephant, and then Burmese padded archer armor. Podars is the infantry armor. Light cav, scout cav, but no light cav. It's like Saracens, knight, but no cavalier. To know? Oh, there's only 4 civs that miss it. Goths, Huns, and Cumans all only have watchtower, and then Sicilians don't have regular towers at all. Everyone else gets guard tower. We were the only civ to miss Captram. Turks are the only civ to miss Elite Skirmisher. And why is it Muisca? I don't know why you'd think I'm the most excited for Muisca, man. Oh, I cannot wait to get more into the testing. I mean, into the testing in the first place. Oh, whoops, this is the wrong one. All right. I don't really see how it's super OP. I mean, it's nice, but you have trade in team games. Now, it's true that delaying getting trade set up is very helpful, but I don't think it's, like, OP at all. I mean, especially now that with the South America... Oh. It's hard to remember what exactly is publicly available information. Dang it. You don't get that gold any faster, though, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, like I said. But yeah, I am, in all honesty, I am looking forward to all 3 new civs a lot. No high tides? This is a good, solid map pool. No, like, let me tell you, I do not do fake hype. I think you guys know that very well. I am actually hyped for all 3 civs. I think they're going to be really fun. They're all going to be playing pretty different. They all have character flavor, right? Like, 2P are swarming with lots of, you know, trade and aggression. I mean, they literally have the Zergling unit, but beyond that, it's like you start with the extra resources, you have that efficiency with getting the resources back from your lost units, and like, the civ is cohesive, right? Then you have Muisca, who are like the rich ones that have a lot of very good expensive units with like archers and monks and siege. Very gold intensive. Kind of, you know, like the South American Aztecs, right? And then you have the Mapuche, who are all about like skirmishing and raiding and countering their opponent. I mean, obviously, there's obviously a reasonable chance that the civs are all like overpowered or underpowered. I mean, balance is almost certainly not going to be far from perfect at launch, but I don't have any major conceptual issues with these civs in the way that I did with the 3K civs or Romans. Or, yeah, no, there's nothing in these civs that feels inherently, like, wrong. All right, we are in the lobby. Quarry is going to be game number 1. Okay, Fire and Sora were in the lobby with Petito, and then Petito and Sora left, and then Fire left. Something OP? I have no idea. The thing is that the American civs in general don't fit into the current meta very well because although they do skirmishers well, all of them do skirmishers well, they don't have that mobility of cav archers, light cav. Yeah, they don't do ranged mobility. Except for the Mapuche. But Mapuche also aren't going to have bloodlines or husbandry, so We'll have to see how the actual stats are going to go. And none of them look to have insane economies, which I think is very interesting. Because you had Ketons and Whey, specifically, that were designed at launch to have insane economies. And they do, right? And that makes them very difficult to balance. Shu to a degree as well. Like, these civs, it's not like they're hopeless early game, right? I mean, they've got stuff going for them, but none of the new civs are like, oh wow, crazy good eco. He was about army to buy coal? What? What? So bizarre. All right, they have started the game, and we'll get into it shortly. We will get into it TurboTax. Which, by the way, guys, literally, I saw an ad for Valentine's Day sponsored by Intuit TurboTax on TV. Which it's like, what? What? It doesn't make any sense. External combustion jet engines, I guess. Liquefied coal gas? I don't even know what that is. Tax preppers, yep. Ornlu bucks? It's the fake channel points that I barely ever use because I don't really like channel points, but we have them anyway. And hello, Mike. WBMA. I'm doing great. I got lots and lots of work ahead of me, but with the new DLC coming, but I'm looking forward to really sinking my teeth into it. For late, I did not know. Had to check it. Always learn something. Always learn something. Right, we are on Gold League. There's gold up in them hills. Oh, whoops, we are on a best playoff 3 even. Well, I mean, coal gas doesn't sound like a very efficient means of converting, you know, what, energy potential into kinetic energy. All right, so here we are, guys. Fire in the red as the Uwu. Here to the northeast and to the southwest, we got the Battle of Red Cliffs matchup with Dawe here for the Sky Bear Sorakuma. So I do think Wei are the stronger civ overall. Personally, I feel like if you can't leverage Qian Swordsman and the unit being like so silly in early to mid Castle Age, I don't think the Wu have a whole lot going for them. Their eco isn't insane. Like, it's you know, the extra food you can get does help in these sorts of situations, but other than that, you have no real military bonus, or eco bonus. Your archers aren't that great. Your cav is, like, okay, but obviously Wei are going to do that still way better. Your skirms and cav archers aren't very good. It just feels like Wei are a better civ overall. I mean, of course, we're talking a land map here, not a water map. So it really feels like early Feudal Age is where Wu need to make something happen, because you do have a strong lead there. Great early Men-at-Arm rush. Good follow-up with archers, or scouts, I guess, if you really want to. But you're going to need to do something. The ball is in Fire's court, so to say. Because if you don't make something happen, there will be a large blob of, like, Heiguang Cav and Xianbei Raiders, and then, no, Sora will sort of sleepwalk into winning the game. And indeed, what Sora is going to opt to do is go for a very early drush himself. Now, this is kind of interesting, right? Because, yeah, I mean, any civ can drush. But there are some civs that want to drush more than others. In the case of the Wei, they actually want to get out of Dark Age as quickly as possible because they have no Dark Age bonus. You want to get to Feudal Age and you want to start getting those eco upgrades so that, well, one, the eco upgrades are still useful in their role as eco upgrades, but also getting those extra villagers and getting that relative advantage over your opponent. Sitting in the Dark Age longer means that you don't really get that advantage. But, like I said, any civ can drush, and it can still be appropriate in the correct specific situation. And considering the close rush distance on the map, there isn't anything inherently wrong with this. Good quick balls here, though, from Fire. Oh, the jukes! The jukes! Well, no loom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's what happens when you don't properly react. Like, it's one thing to be completely caught off guard and lose a villager. It's another to see the drush coming and then just not adequately defend against it. He did not get loom. He did not wall, like, 2 or 3 tiles more than he needed to. And that, unfortunately, is entirely on Fire, who also has 18 seconds idle time. So this just goes to show, even if the Wei aren't an inherently great drushing civ, sometimes the right play can make it work. Militia in the Dark Age? I mean, to be fair, all 3 of the new civs and Incas don't get Militia in the Dark Age. They get Chumpies. Oh, not paying attention there, though, is Sorakuma. Does lose the Militia for free. It's a little awkward. Sora up on the way to Feudal Age. Very quick follow-up there. Meanwhile, great defense on the other side, so that's why he wasn't paying attention here. He was focused on the micro over here, which, to be fair, is more important. Without scouting your opponent? Yeah, there you go. Incas are going to get the Chompy Warriors. That's been confirmed. Oh, he did lose a Vil. Oh, good catch. This is what happens when there's multiple things happening on screen. All right, so both players getting some value, but... And this is a big but. Feudal Age is coming in here for Sorakuma, not yet for Fire, who isn't even especially close. He's already gone through his boar. Marsh. And Fire continuing to produce more militia. That's going to further delay his Feudal Age. He's not fully walled in. He's going to run out of sheep in a moment, so he'll be entirely reliant on those forage bushes. Unless there's, like, other food on the map, but I don't think so with Quarry. Yeah, that's not the case. There's some extra deer in the middle, but you can't really send your villagers there. Anyway, the Sky Bear playing nice and safe at this point, going immediately for the archery range. Obvious follow-up to the drush, nothing wrong with that, especially you see more infantry units from your opponent. You want to get archers out so you can start going after the potentially very scary men-at-arms from the Wu. So all sorts of reasons to go for an archery range there. I don't think so, because the We've already seen the tech trees. First militia. I mean, it's tight. But man, if in a very hypothetical world, I could bring you guys early content for the expansion, again, all hypothetical, I would be sure that one of the first things I would do is give you a video on the Chompy Warrior as replacing an entire main unit line would have huge consequences. What's the second thing I do? Party hard. Alright guys, here we are. Villa is indeed forward, but the archer is out. That said, there's a lot going on in this game, and we don't know if Sora actually saw the villager. Oh! He's got vision. Oh, no way Sora misses that, and indeed not. Oh my goodness. Now, Fire is only ahead by 2 vills, and he still has to go all the way up to Feudal Age, so this is tough. 9 on Forage Bushes there. Again, food income is quite sparse for each player. Those Forage Bushes aren't going to last a whole lot longer, so Sora's going to need to make that transition over into farming. He does have double bit axe, though. These are just sheep, by the way. They're not any sneak villagers. 9 farms in the Dark Age. Not something we see every day. But yeah, this is all good here from Sorakuma. And now, 2 villagers killed to 1. He's got 4 archers on the field. We have the eco upgrades coming in here for the Wei player. Sora already 3 vills ahead. Res collected are even for the time being because Fire himself did do at least a semi-decent job of disrupting Sora's eco. The issue is that it was a huge investment from him. He made, what, 6 militia or something like that? No, I mean, Fire's not going Castle Age. No way you can afford that. Imagine partying hard. I don't think either of us are very likely to party hard. To be fair, I don't think any of the AoE casters really give that party hardy vibe. Alright, DBA coming in here. We do have a range on the way for Fire. I was thinking maybe he'd just try and go Market and Blacksmith and then defend with like a tower or something. The closest? I meant of the casters. Of the players, there are definitely those who partake in the party lifestyle. Like Doubt. Alright, pushing in the deer is, you know, Sora's just trying to sustain this food income as best he can. Them party super hard? Oh, yeah. Well, Fire isn't using the archery range, and honestly, I kind of just wish this was a market. Like, imagine this was like a market over here, you finish walling, and then you just try and click up to Castle Age. I feel like that... Yeah, and there's the market anyway. Yeah, so not a fan of this archery range. I don't like that either of these buildings are being placed in the back as well. Focus on getting walled here at the front, and as things stand, look at this. You're already starting to get ahead in resources as Sorakuma. He's got 12 farms. A lot of them have horse collar versus only 10, none of which have horse collar. So there's only 1,000 food left here versus almost 2,000 food on the other side. But heavy market usage, and Fire is on his way up to Castle Age. I still don't think it's super clear as to what he wants to do, though. 5 vills on stone. Huh? I'm not sure. Sora is also on stone. But Sora didn't sell stone to get to Castle Age, so he's still going to be much closer to getting an actual castle itself. And yet, look at this. It's actually going to be for stone walls. I actually like this here from Sora. Oh my god, Ornlu saying how much you like stone walling. But hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Your way you know you're in a good spot economically. Your opponent invested a ton into the early militia. You got 2 villager kills to 1 loss, and your Wei versus Wu. So just chill, man. Sit back, add in a gajillion eco, and then just cruise to 200 population. These are just sheep. This is nothing exciting, I'm afraid. Unless you find 2 sheep exciting, in which case, you know, I can't be the judge of that. You know, you guys gotta live your own lives. I can't tell you what to find exciting. Alright, scale mail armor coming in. Gonna be for some John Swordsman. Oh, well, oh, man. But yeah, it's like this entire archery range play could have been skipped completely, and it would have made no difference. In fact, it would have been better for fires. You would have had a cleaner uptime. Coinage? It does not. Coinage and banking are specifically excluded as eco upgrades, as is Caravan. Alright, extra TC coming in. But this feels a lot more reactionary than what Sora is doing, right? It's like, okay, we go for the Drush, we lose a Vil. Okay, let's add in more militia and a forward Vil, but we lost the forward Vil, so now we're going to defend and try and get up to Castle Age as quickly as possible. But we don't really have a timing to hit an early Castle Age, so it all feels very reactionary. Whereas what Sora's doing, it just feels so much smoother by comparison. Go get the 2 militia forward, get the damage done, you defend, you now stonewall it up, and then you just get to Castle Age nice and safe. Now he's adding the 2 TCs at the back. Well, okay, letting the Jian Swordsman in is kind of awkward, but he's got a monk out soon. And so, can train villagers by aging up? You mean like Bengalis? Oh, while aging up. I just don't think that's how Age of Empires works. Like, that would require pretty heavy rewriting of the code. Anyway, 3rd TC is coming in here from Fire, but I think you guys get the idea that everything is so much smoother this game for Sora Kuma. He's on 3 TCs even faster. He's got the Bosa extra upgrade in, as well as some of the mining upgrades. I think he got stone and gold mining. Yes, he did, to get those extra villagers. And he's just cruising, man. Payhell with the 1 year. Thank you so much, Payhell. Really appreciate it. Was pretty goofy. Well, I mean, AoE 3 is a completely different game, with every civilization having its own unique macro gimmick mechanic. Like, the way AoE 3 works, at least in the original version, is that every civ has the same exact basic tech tree, or at least almost the exact same basic tech tree. And the differences in the civs come from shipments and economy, like how their economies work. Wall like this? Yeah, I do think it's a little weird, but I guess the initial pressure in Dark Age was coming from this angle, so he just kind of walled back, but yeah. I mean, might as well just stonewall that, and then you give yourself a lot more space. Also, if you wall like this, then your opponent can't take the high ground to push you from the middle. They'd have to push from the sides. Anyway, I mean, just a few archers coming in, and Fire's gonna need to do something, because Wei are just a better civ right now. The execution was terrible. I mean, AoE 3 is just really snowbally. The shipments and whatnot, all of like the artificial limits on everything you can do and buildings you can place and all that stuff is really annoying. That way. Okay, I mean, yeah, like, you got archers, they've got, Bodkin, that's all fine and dandy. They're not going to be able to push in over here. Now, it is true that the Siege Workshop, you know, upon seeing all these units, definitely would rather be here defensively, but you could just add in a defensive siege workshop if you want to, as Sora. Sora is getting closer to castle age, rather castle resources as well. And not very new friendly. I mean, there's just so many different cards to know and understand, and the best cards were almost always like unit and resource shipment cards, which are like the least interesting by far. I actually felt the civs all were like way too similar. At least like the European ones. And then you go in like the other direction with like the later civs, which all had super bizarre gimmicks. Or like versions of units that are like, again, like I think I talked about this in State of the Civs, where it's like, there's so many different Musketeer variations that are all exactly Musketeers, but they have just slightly different stats. And it's really kind of confusing to keep track of. Anyway, defensive castle coming in, like I said, so it's really nothing. This pressure is really not doing anything remotely impactful. Counters what? Yeah, it's all kind of confusing. Well, also, yeah, like if this siege workshop was over here, then literally you don't need to do anything, but with slightly different stats. But those are different stats to the same exact units, right? So it's much easier to follow. Like, there are tons of civs that have slightly different variations of crossbowman stats, but it's all still crossbowman. It still looks like crossbowman, it still has the same model, the same basic upgrades, and all that stuff. So in terms of readability, it's significantly easier in AoE 2. Anyway, this is what I was a little worried about, was the fact that you could push through the middle and actually get to the high ground here as fire instead of this being fully walled, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Your villas might have to scooch over to the side a bit. You're already taking gold over there to the west, and of course just getting some traction trebs is going to make this nigh impossible to push. Anyway, another defensive castle coming in. Of course, you need those siege workshops as Sora. Triple siege workshop incoming. But yes, thank you for the 54 months, Pointy Boy. Really appreciate it. Hope everyone's having a lovely day today. This isn't perfect at all. This definitely could have been executed a bit better, but the Tiger Cav are incoming. It's probably fine. Yeah, you're still only at 5. Okay. Yep. Well, that was like, okay, Sora had the better civ and the more cohesive game plan, so there really wasn't anything fancy he had to do. He was just so far ahead without really ever doing, without ever even having to cross the map after early game. Yeah, I mean, 26 KD, but like one dude had 5,000 more resources than the other. One dude got to play Deathmatch and the other got to play RM. Alright, so that is Sora Kuma taking game number 1. Nice! LEP with the 69 months.
Nice.
Nice. Chompy from Fairly Odd Parents? I mean, I watched Fairly Odd Parents as a kid, but I don't remember a Chompy.
Do you ever think we're ever gonna get a Chompy Warrior? Is the GOAT mod
And
where they
Vajayk,
replace
one of
him
the
with
OGs,
Chompy from
the
Fairly Odd
OG.
Parents?
Thanks for the 89 months. All right, 30 seconds. We call deathmatch DM on RMFs, yeah. The dog? I didn't know there was a dog. From a bad situation, oh boy. All right, guys, here we are. Game number 2, Sora versus Fire. Sora is going to be in the blue as the Chinese to the east of African rivers and to the west in the red as the Japanese. It will be Fire. AOC Civ matchup here at Age of Kings even. Is Sparky. Okay, now I need to look this up. Oh, season 9. Oh. I must have missed that one. Chompy or Sparky, yeah. All right, so Chinese versus Japanese here. Japanese going to have an incredibly powerful Men-at-Arms rush, which could certainly throw Chinese for a loop. But just like with Mudflow, guys, I see shorefish under the TC. And indeed, Sorakuma has 8 seconds idle time as Chinese, which is... yikes. Flipsy? Okay, now I need to look this up. Oh, yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. Yes, yes, yes. All right, Doc coming in here from Fire. Doc already in for Sora. And you know when the Chinese player has the fishing ship advantage over the Japanese player? You know something's going wrong. Something's going real wrong, in fact. Oh boy. You don't get to choose the topics? I think all our brains work like that. Guys, why do I feel like this is just going to be a game that's over from Dark Age because Chinese weren't banned on a map where you have fish literally underneath your TC? Where you have the fastest food source in the game right underneath your town center? For the Civ, that's balanced around not having food directly underneath your TC, so it takes a little while before you can actually start villager production. Anyone else kind of getting that vibe? Already 300 more res collected. Yep. I mean, I was and am a big Pokemon fan, but I kind of lost track of all of the new ones after, like, Generation 4. But I still enjoyed the new games. I actually like Scarlet and Violet. But I just don't really remember all the new Pokemon. it with fitness? Yeah, I mean, that would be far more helpful, wouldn't it? All right, Barracks coming in here for Sorakuma. He is on his way up to the feudal age. Oh, my goodness. There should be some extra food coming in over here, but it's still a good 300 resources difference in the early game. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Yeah, I mean, those were, like, okay. They're alright. Is a new one? Yeah, I mean, in my mind, the very first games I played were Crystal, like when I was really, really young, and Fire Red and Leaf Green were the ones I played like the most. And I also grew up with the original Pokemon anime, so despite me being too young to play like the original Red, Blue, and Yellow, I still very much like associate with you know, the earliest generations. Freddy Fish? I was more of a Spy Fox kind of kid. Anyway, forward dock here from Fire, and it's gonna be, if the Chinese player can go Men-at-Arms Rush, like something's going real wrong. Something's going real wrong. Fat. I mean, it's literally a punching bag. It's like one of those boxing punching bags. Alright, here we go. Definitely don't expect the Men-at-Arms Rush from Chinese. Scouts at full HP. Oh my goodness, guys. Super Evolution? Yeah. I miss there being, like, also all these different little areas to explore and whatnot. Get defensive archers here at home. Guys, we're 700 resources ahead here as the Chinese. A lot larger? I don't know. I played Fire Red, Leaf Green and all that stuff, you know, relatively recently, and the world is plenty big. What I like is also it's very, there's a lot of discovery. And it feels like the Pokemon games now have so much hand-holding, and everything is so basic and straightforward that there's no real discovery for the player. You kind of missed that. Like, everything is just handed to you. Oh, boy. Guys, this looks like one of my games. Legends Arceus? I liked Legends Arceus. Guys. Gen 5? Yeah, that's true. Well, the issue is that Pokemon was always designed to be, like, more for, like, kids and teenagers. But because there are so many people who grew up with Pokemon, they want a more, like, adult-driven game or, like, you know, challenging game, and they just don't want to do that. Am I blue or red? I was a leaf green kid. Hello, Medros. All right, guys. Don't let them pick Chinese on Mudflow or on African River. Moral of the story. All right, Coastal Arena. 30 seconds. Actually, I'm gonna get some more coffee. Be right back. To release non-Nintendo consoles? Well, I'm sure that's all a licensing agreement and stuff like that. All right. All right. 100% Asian civs? I don't know. Do we count Armenia as Asia? I never can tell. Quality? I feel like game devs generally do care about quality. I feel like game publishers generally don't care about quality. But they have the Southern European architecture set. Anyway, Dravidians here for Sorakuma, Armenians for fire. Now, Dravidians I'm not as sold on because you can't do monk stuff very well. Is not a good look. Does it even matter, though? I feel like if it wasn't profitable, then they wouldn't do it. I mean, just look at how much all the slop that's being pushed out with Call of Duty. Like, just on a yearly basis. Co-panties? What? AoE3 development? Yeah. In sales? I mean, that's really the only way anything's gonna change. Anyway, nothing too crazy happening so far. Nostalgia? Yeah, the games are not really all that great. They very clearly don't put that much budget into making the games. Because they sell no matter what. But also, I don't think the games are an important part of the Pokemon revenue stream. Like, I wonder what their breakdown is of what makes Game Freak the most money. I feel like merch is probably the most by far. A huge hit? They were very much not great. But that's sort of, you know, it's like an idea, right? Like, okay, let's try this gaming concept, and then once it works, then you try and refine it. Take a stop? Yep. By having the game sales, that's also true. Alright. Second dock incoming, Feudal Age on the way here for Sorakuma. Fire still chilling in the Dark Age a little bit longer. Not thought exactly. But again, like, that's to be expected in the very first version of a game. It's like where you're trying an idea out. Monster collecting. My favorite game genre, collecting monsters. High points? In terms of effort, probably, yeah. I really didn't like Gen 5 when it came out. Like, you know, I was like, what, a teenager? A young teenager? But I think people really like it now. Added it to MMOs? That's true, right? Anyway, Sora's going to be going for galleys to some extent here. Someone play it? For sure. The genre cockfights. Exactly. But even better, they're cockfights that you enslave the creatures against their will and then keep them in digitized capsules. Also, children are the ones who are doing this unsupervised. Yennakattari? The Gen 5 starters? Yeah, I don't like them. As a flavor of eugenics. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe not eugenics, at least husbandry. A fighting rooster? That's true. Want to destroy the universe with Pokemon? You know, it happens. Anyway, Castle Age is on the way here for fire. Nape. Go 10% faster? Exactly. Get your Ponyta and Rapidash faster. That reminds me, I found a shiny Ponyta when I was doing my Legends Arceus playthrough. I think it's still on there. But it's got, like, blue fire for its main. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, Castle Age is coming in here for fire. It is clicked up from Sora, so it's really two slightly different approaches, right? You have Sora, who went up faster to get the galley numbers going sooner, but still with a pretty quick Castle Age behind it. Still just 2 docks, not going all in on the pressure by any means. Whereas Fire went with the more direct, fast castle. You need to rely on the Fire galleys to survive when you're lower in ship numbers, but then, you know, you go for the big counterattack once Castle Age is in. Azula? I did not know. elemental monkeys. Which one is the one that looked like it was, which was the one that looked like it really liked to hang out with the Gujara monks, shall we say? That's, let's just leave it at that. Alright, Orgali is on its way. But you've lost 2 vills already as fire, and part of the advantage of Sora's build specifically is it gets more fishing ships out. All 4 legs. Well, Tepig is quadruped. I don't remember the name of the middle evolution, but I think it's on 2 legs, if I recall correctly. Pig Knight, yeah. And then Embor is also on 2 legs. Whereas it's the opposite for the otter. Like Oshawott and Duat are on 2 legs, and then Samurot's on 4 legs. But at least I kind of remember the Gen 5 starters. Does anyone ever remember the Gen 8 starters? Because I sure don't. I literally didn't even use one on my team, I remember when I played through the Generation 8 games. I thought they were so silly. Alright, Bidax and Horsecollar both now coming in here for Sorakuma. Got a second TC coming in, and you can see that his build just seems a little bit more streamlined. Oh, rip that Vil, man. Exciting water play, yeah. Yeah, Generation 8 were the Switch games. Well, the first Switch games. But I liked Gen 9. Like, I actually thought Scarlet and Violet were pretty fun. But I also got them a little bit later, so I didn't have all the... I didn't really deal with all of the issues they had at launch. Like it was, like, very buggy, apparently. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire were great. And I'm somebody who never... I was, like, okay with Gen 3, but I didn't love it as much as a lot of people my age did. Fire able to scooch around here with the fire ships. Able to at least deny a lot of the fishing income. The issue right now for him is that... Oh, he's also fortified church rushing. Now remember, Dravidians do get atonement, so that is at least somewhat helpful for them. Well, rip that. It's not really what you want. I was old. Oh, no. Oh, no. That is... Oh, my goodness, we're old. All right, Siege Workshop coming in. We already have the defensive Mangonel out. We actually have a tower incoming. Yeah, I think there's more than 1,000 Pokemon. Last time I checked, they were in the 900s, so yeah. Eternamax, Eternamisses. That was the big bad legendary in Generation 8 games, right? Sword and Shield. Predictable number in your life? I think because once you reach a certain age, most people feel that time starts flying very quickly, and they don't like being reminded. Top 5 starters? Okay, I can think of it, I think. Oh! So number 1's always Cyndaquil, my very first starter. Then it's Squirtle. Then Charmander. I mean, it's probably like all the Gen 1, Gen 2 starters. Of the later ones, I liked... I think all the Gen 3 starters were at least pretty good. Yeah, I liked Piplup. Even Chikorita. Even Chikorita. Meganium's pretty cool. But Chikorita had the Bulbasaur treatment, where Cyndaquil and Totodile were awesome, so it was just kind of one left over. Yeah, I liked Empoleon. Yeah, Prinpup was the second one. But yeah, Penguins are cool. Empoleon was Steel type. That was awesome. Is Joey? Oh, yeah. People are way too hard on Chikorita, man. See the pattern? You're a water starter person. Flowers around its neck. Well, it makes sense. The buds bloomed into flowers. It started as seeds and then buds and then flowers. That design makes sense. I liked Greninja, but then Greninja became so overdone. It was like Lucario. Like, Lucario was cool and stuff, but it was super overdone. No, yeah, Blaziken also has that issue for sure. Same with Charizard. I mean, Charizard is like the actual mascot of Pokemon. And I like Charizard, but it's like, oh geez, it's just everywhere. But I was always a Blastoise guy. Although I wish that Blastoise also got like the Steel secondary typing so that all of the Generation 1 starters had a secondary typing. Infernape is fine, but Infernape just feels like it's Blaziken again. It's literally the same exact typing. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is just an incredibly dominant series from Sorokuma. What do you want me to say? In Gen 1? Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. They should have added it with Gen 2. Like, I mean, Magnemite wasn't Steel in Generation 1, and they changed it to Steel type. Yeah, they absolutely changed typings over time. They added Fairy, I think, to, like, Jigglypuff and all that stuff. Oh, I remember when I played on Smogon, Clefable was so annoying when it got the type turn to Fairy. Oh my goodness, it just sat there with Cosmic Power and Moonlight. Oh my god. Is just Speed Boost. I never knew how to get hidden abilities, man. But yeah, in competitive, Speed Boost is absurd. Of Fairy? No, I got no problem with Fairy. I think from a balancing design, it makes a lot of sense. It buffs Poison and Steel offensively, which they were really bad at. Nerfs Dragon, which was definitely overpowered. And then I think they also, it was, like, Dark and Psychic are my favorite types in Ghost. But, yeah, nerfing those probably were needed. Anyway, Imp is about to be in. This might just be the GG. Honestly, very, very one-sided series. Ow. Umbreon is my favorite evolution. Umbreon's awesome. More after this series? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Fairy type, yeah, Fairy type itself is definitely OP. Good time zone? What do you mean? This is like when I always stream. Oh boy. Gambesons? What? Is it time? Ah, I'm so sorry. I'm unfamiliar with this lore. Evolution of Raichu? Nah, they gave Pichu instead. And some other moves? Oh, that is a good one. Is pushing 40? It feels like I am. Raikou? I mean, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune are absolutely the best legendary trio, for sure. Oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, what the heck is going on? Man, this game sure is over, isn't it? Faint to Fate? Oh, they actually used the correct version. Wow. I thought this series would be much closer. The fly trick? Oh yeah, you just like fly to a random city over and over again until they happen to appear next to you, right? All right. I mean, Overtaken and Prisma are literally in the lobby right now, so we'll cast that. We've only been live for a little over an hour anyway. Wildly one-sided games, yeah. Looks like Valley is going to be map number 1. A bit too hard. I mean, I think that, like, not every idea panned out, but, like, at least they made you do the legwork back in the day. Oops, that is a Civ draft window, not a map draft window. But I only have one map. Oh, no, here it is. There we go. But I remember one of my proudest moments as a kiddo was catching Mewtwo with a Pokeball. Like, I'd run out of Ultra Balls, you know, turning off my game from my Game Boy and then turning it on again, just over and over trying to catch Mewtwo. And I happened to have 5 Pokeballs on me. I remember this. And then with the first Pokeball I threw, I caught Mewtwo. You needed a Master Ball? No, you didn't need one. It just has a very low catch rate. Is it almost time? It's almost, Dobby. It's almost. Yeah, I think Mewtwo actually had the same catch rate as the other legendaries. You know, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno. No, the only Pokemon that avoids being captured in the original games is Marowak's mother. By the way, huge fan of Cubone and Marowak. Definitely my favorite ground types. Especially when you get their held item, the Thick Club. Yeah, Alolan Marowak was pretty cool. Fire Ghost is an interesting type combo. Alright, we are in the lobby. I mean, for Valley, there's a ton of viable civs. I think that Chinese and Malay are probably the two best, but that's just because they're S tier in general. And you probably still could want them on other maps. When you killed Marowak? You didn't kill it, Team Rocket killed it. Back when the evil organizations were, like, actually evil. Like, Team Rocket was both not a crazy megalomaniac organization and also far more evil than most of the other teams. But yeah, best, like, my party for Generation 1, Alakazam, Gengar, Lapras, Marowak, Dragonite, and... Well, why wouldn't you love Lapras? Lapras is awesome. Arcanine? Yeah, I think the last one I kind of mixed around a little bit. Like Jolteon, Arcanine. I like Blastoise a lot, but Lapras is my favorite water type. Gen 1er? Not really. I mean, I grew up with, like, my very first game, like, when I was very, very young, was Crystal. The first game I really dumped a ton of hours into, though, was Leaf Green. So it's like, I skipped a generation. The idea system? Oh, there you go. Mewtwo, Fearow, Electabuzz, Kabutops, and Aerodactyl. There you go. I feel like that was a lot of people just, like, got their starter and then only used it. Still in the lobby, by the way, guys. Leaf Green. So the way Pokemon works is to encourage you to trade with your friends. They make it so some Pokemon can only be caught in one game and then some in the other. So you have to trade with your friendos. Everything? Oh yeah, Alakazam is my favorite Pokemon of all time. So awesome. Not that I knew that when I was a kid. Like, when I was a kid, my Alakazam just used Psychic and Psybeam. And that's it. That's all I needed. Anyway, guys, it is the matchup. It is the Jordan Dogao matchup. In Gen 2. Well, the issue is that back in Gen 2, the elemental punches were actually used special attack and not physical attack. That was only changed in Generation 4. So Hitmonchan actually was awful with the elemental punches. Garbage, lazy Pokemon. What, you're saying that Seal, the Seal Pokemon, was lazy design? And yet I like Dugong. Talking about trubbish. Literal rubbish. Trash rubbish. Electrode? Honestly, that's not even that bad. I mean, they're literally, like, fake Pokeballs that blow up in your face. Like, there's nothing actually wrong with that. Starmie? Oh, Starmie's great. I mean, you can get what? Like, Surf, Psychic, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam on it. Alright. Here we go. A big goofy. I love Dragonite, man. I liked how in the anime it delivered all the mail. Like, you had this amazing legendary dragon just as, like, a mail carrier. But my favorite pseudo-legendary is Tyranitar. Love, love, love Tyranitar, man. Rock Godzilla. T-Tar. Alright. Prisma, yellow Persians to the west, Overtaken blue Jerchins to the east. Yes, this is the matchup between Jordan and Dogao. He's like... It's two... What? I thought Tyranitar was pretty tall. And so, yeah, I mean... Nostalgia is a huge factor with Pokemon. Like Garchomp? Garchomp was, like, really, really freaking strong, man. Yeah, I thought that was much more like it. Alright, so. Persians versus Jerchins, I think that these are both, like, solid A-tier Arabia-ish civs. You do get a little bit of an extra bonus with the hunt, perhaps, as Jerchins on this map. I don't think it's that too big of a difference. Not cool Dragon type? Well, they just kind of, like, overuse Dragon type. Of only starter Pokemon? I mean, it would probably just be the first two generations. All three of them. Looks like Godzilla? That's true. Hydreigon? Hydreigon, like, Gen 5 had the really weird stuff, right? Where they evolved, like, everything evolved super freaking late. Yeah, that was a weird one. But, like, you didn't finish the game that late, at, like, level-wise, if I recall correctly. But I hated the map of Gen 5. Alright, there are Peach Blossoms. Like, I hated the map where it's literally all linear. It's like, you just go in a line, in a circle, and that's it. I remember being so annoyed by that. Especially because the first 4 generations had a lot more, like, exploring to do. Anyway, it looks like 19 pop up here for Prisma. Nothing too crazy so far. Just pushing a deer. Getting it to evolve? Oh yeah, the was it Alder's Pokemon? Can you use Flash? Yes. That is very true. Order you went in? Yeah, I thought they did that for Scarlet and Violet, but it just turned out that I happened to take on the gym leaders in, like, relatively close to the proper order. Anyway, it's just going to be a scout opening here from both players by the looks of things. Yep, always the HM slaves. If all the moves were useful? I mean, to be fair, early on, a lot of them were useful. Yes, HMs are very much not something that made a lot of sense in the long run. At least Surf and Fly were both good moves. A 60 power grass move? Yeah, that's at least usable in early game. Cut is really bad. Flash is really bad. Rock Smash is pretty bad. You need to delete your barracks? It depends. Can you delete your barracks and after you hit Feudal Age? Yes. If you delete the barracks before Feudal Age? No. The way it works in AoE is when it comes to unlocking something, is that it's not like a continuous thing, like you need to maintain a barracks to build an archery range or a stable, but you need the barracks to unlock the archery range and stable initially, and then you can just build them forever. It's different when the starting age is, like in Feudal Age. Yeah, it's not continuous, but you need it... There needs to be overlap in, like, the actual unlocking. So, like, if you lose your blacksmith before you hit Castle Age, you cannot build a siege workshop until you rebuild the blacksmith. But if you lose the blacksmith in Castle Age, the fact is you could still theoretically build a siege workshop. It's still, like, available, so it doesn't become unavailable. Inventory. Yeah, that was neat, for sure. Anyway, just a few scouts here. Prisma is a villager ahead thanks to Persians, so it's really going to be the matter of Jurchens having the stronger military options and Persians having the better economy. At a very, very basic level, that's kind of how this matchup works. Knows a lot. Kappa? I just know a lot in general. No Kappa needed. Well, about AoE 2, not much about anything else. Oh. Get patrol stacking there. Again, it had to be somewhere, yeah. Frickin' Gary. No, it's even better. Gary just made up the gym badges. just to screw with Ash. Anyway, both players were able to get the horse collar upgrade, so that's good for their farms. It does look like Overtaken will be the first player to break and go for the archery range instead of just continuing with scouts. Or trying to sneak up to Castle Age, but both players are still quite open. Will I stream tomorrow? Yeah, probably. Gotta be careful. Does take a poke. Reveals ahead, though, now is our yellow player. The actual story? Yep. I mean, they made the gym leaders like a bigger deal. But then they had the gym leader, like, turned Elite 4 guy in the latest games. That was, like, the sad, depressed office worker, which I thought was really funny. Ooh, does get the kill there. Quick balls are needed, but at least you have your own scouts, so you can at least try and better force an engagement. Good quick balls. Getting a place in competitive. I mean, yeah, Persians and Jurchens were actually both kind of weak at launch, but got a few buffs and now are both very, very good. If they don't adjust their level. I mean, yeah, there's certainly some logic holes there that you just kind of have to assume. From, no, Estonia. Wheelbarrow coming in now for Prisma. I mean, this is a nice looking farming matrix. 19 farms for him versus the 11 of Overtaken. And again, this is a guy who's not bothered building an archery range. It could bite him in the butt with a counterattack once he tries to click up to Castle Age, but his eco is going to be very good because of it. No fletching in on the archers, though. And the walls are at least starting to come in. The safe gold in the back is huge. Overtaken, meanwhile, selling stone, so he's going to try and leverage a little bit of a timing there. Scout's still hanging around here. But yeah, I kind of like this for Prisma. Okay, I think Overtaken's going to go Cav Archers, which, I don't know. Like, I get it. Cav Archers are the meta, so just go Cav Archers. Versus Persians, though, I don't know. It feels like as Jurchens, you really want to leverage where your units are better. So I think in this case, it would be Steppe Lancers, especially with patrol stacking. Cav Archers feel like they just don't scale very well. Because remember, we tested it, and the Persian Cav Archers with Parthian tactics beat the Jurchen ones. And since Persian eco is better in the first place, then you can just more easily transition into late game. That said, this could honestly just be a reasonable crossbowman timing. And a ladder check? Yeah. Well, is John Slow actually from Belarus itself? I mean, I know he's Israeli, but yeah, I don't know the specifics on that. Eat a McDonald's in Belarus. Ah, yes, the most important thing of all. No, definitely don't expand all the move pool of Pokemon. Restricting it to 4, I think, is actually very good. Makes you have some tough choices. Alright, Crossbowman and Bodkin coming in. Like I said for Prisma, this is sort of the one weakness of his build is this early Castle Age transition. Your opponent has these archers. It's a much stronger power spike. You don't have +2 defense. That said, you have a lot of knights queued up. And especially if you can eliminate some of the reinforcements, this is potentially going to be just fine here. But it's not a guarantee. And this is still a little scary for sure. Going to come in with a forward TC, going to protect the front of his base and secure that gold, so that certainly makes plenty of sense. And right now, you were just trying to buy time as Prisma. Up. All right. Got some more units coming in here as reinforcements. No husbandry in yet. 20 seconds, and then no +2 defense or any attack upgrades. Uh-oh. This is pretty close. It might just be enough. Oh, man, what a close fight. But it looks like Prisma is going to survive. And although the fight itself was relatively even, the fact is, we have yellow on 2 TCs and as Persians. It was a little bit of a greedier build, so I'd say that this is one of those fights that is, on paper, even, but is in actuality a big win here for our yellow player. Yes, they are Wabbits. But yeah, there was no way you could afford +2 defense at that point. Okay, Siege Workshop built a little bit closer there, and of course these Jurchen Cav Archers, 1.6 reload time. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's a mistake that Prisma didn't get +2 defense, it's just he literally can't afford it. And these farmers are having a bad day. Yeah, you might just need to delete those. Oh man, losing a couple vills for free is not really what you want. Scorpion is on its way, but the CA numbers are climbing. What's the reload? 1.8. So you attack faster than a Thumb Ring Cav Archer as Jurchens, but you don't get Thumb Ring itself, so you lack the accuracy. Bloodline's on its way. Remember, that gold being safe is huge. The issue now is that all those farms were kind of expiring for Prisma, and so his food income isn't quite as good as you'd like it to be. That said, despite losing the 2 villagers in a little bit of an S-word fashion, he's still doing fine. He's on the 2 TCs, he's got a market incoming, he's continuing with the walls there, he's got a lot of houses. Both players actually have a lot of houses. And Prisma is managing to hang in. Or hang on, I guess. Using correct prepositions. Now getting full wall to help minimize counterattacks. This is still a little bit scary if the Cav Archers make their way all the way over there, but... yeah, this is actually like a reasonable competitive game so far, which is what we want to see. I don't think 1 vill is going to be enough, but... yeah, I think that you just probably won't have enough surface area to damage that house in a scary enough way. Do need to be careful actually as both players here, because on the one hand you don't want to lose all your Cav Archers to Scorpions, but on the other, spreading them out like this means that you can just start taking down those Scorpions, and those units are essential for hanging on. Ooh. It's literally the exact same. Jurchen Cav Archers and Mongol Cav Archers have the exact same bonus. Mangudai actually attack slightly slower by default, but they benefit more from Thumb Ring. Vill kill number starting to climb a little bit. Remember, you are 1 TC here as Overtaken. Nope! It's literally the same bonus. The Jurchen bonus is a better version of the Mongol bonus because it applies to more units. Extra fire speed it gives? I have no idea why. But it is what it is. To be fair, it's either 11 or 18% for most units. And I think because the devs wanted to give Jurchens, like, as at least a step-ish civilization, access to decent Cav Archers. But yeah, I mean, it's inconsistent in which units are impacted by Thumb Ring how much in terms of fire rate increase, but like I said, at least the value increase is almost always either 11% or 18%. There are some exceptions, like Chukonu and War Wagons. Chukonu helps them more, and War Wagons it helps them less. On open maps? Yeah, but I just kind of wish Jurchens were played more for, like, rocket carts and grenadiers and stuff like that. Gotta be careful. +2 defense is gonna be in here in just a moment. And a lot of these CA are very low HP, so you're going to want to make sure that they can get healed up here as Overtaken, as there's a single crossbowman who just didn't get a horse. He forgot his horse at home, so all of his cav archer, or all of his archer friends got to be cav archers except him. Ballistics coming in. But when you can hamster CA, yeah, I kind of wish, yeah, it was like you saw Step Lancers or Iron Pagodas or Light Cav plus the Siege. Like, I love Castle Age Siege Engineers. I think it's such a cool bonus. But we just never see it because Cav Archers. At least Prisma's making knights. Like, this is how Persians in general are, you know, going to be played. Some support units for your knights, which are still the main stars of the show. Expensive. I mean, you do get a huge wood discount on it, but still 500 food, so. But, like, that's important because it's such a strong upgrade. +1 range and plus 20% damage versus buildings are both excellent boosts. Anyway, here we go. Still looking to do a counterattack is Overtaken, but this eco could simply be getting too far out of control. I love the repairs here for the Scorpions from Prisma. That's a nice move. Third TC coming in for Overtaken, but obviously he's so much slower than his counterpart. And now the archery ranges are under heavy threat. Forging's going to be in here in a moment as well. Decent number of Scorpions. No ballistics in, remember, for the Scorpions. Just for the Cav Archers. Trebs? Castle Age Trebuchets, I literally don't think would ever be balanced. I think there is no world in which Castle Age Trebs are balanced. Even if the Civ didn't have, like, mangonels or rams, I don't think you could balance it. Anyway, army value so much higher right now for yellow. And Prisma just charging in with more heavy cavalry, and this is just not something Overtaken can manage. We're pretty close to right-clicking the TC, that's for sure. Fourth TC for our Persians player as well. Again, that's having that safe gold with this forward TC absolutely essential. KD absolutely skyrocketing. And Prisma's going to take this game number 1. Castle Shrubs but no castles. Okay, I guess you could balance that. I think there was a misclick sending those bills forward, but I guess it all worked out just fine. And there is game number 1 for Prisma. Obviously fantastic KD, but really it's just that eco getting so far ahead and the Cav Archers unable to do damage with that timing. Is like half the imp cost? Yes, but the timing advantage you get with it is so ridiculous. Alright. That is game number 1 going to Prisma. Prisma's already 3-0 in his group, by the way. Overtaken already 1-2, so this is a must-win series for Overtaken. All right, Mudflow is next. And guess what Civ wasn't banned for it? Guess which Civ they decided not to ban? Well, really, it's Overtaken not banning them because there's no reason for the guy who picks first to ban Chinese. Anyway, guys, minute 26. I will be right back. Hello. Well, here we are, guys. Game number 2. It is on Mudflow, with Overtaken in the blue as the Malay to the west and the, for some reason, not banned Chinese here for Prisma to the east. Why does this keep on happening? I mean, again, this is all Overtaken's job. If you have Chinese, or probably African rivers in the map pool, ban Chinese if you don't have the first Civ pick. Just do it. I feel like their win rate is just is completely astronomical. And yet, here we are, 6 seconds idle time with Chinese and 4 villagers queued up. Oh my goodness. Already insane resources difference. Oh, okay. Malay were Overtaken's first pick, so maybe he thinks that Malay can counter Chinese on this map with the fish boom, but I don't know, guys. I mean, the S collect difference isn't going to be that insane because you have the rhinos still. It's probably still going to be in the realm of 200 to 300 resources, which is still gigantic. I'm just all sorts of not convinced on this, though. Well, we will have to see. Shama. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, Overtaken's housed. Oh, no. Oh, no, wait, no, he got... Where is he building a house? Oh, all the way over here. Still, 16 seconds idle time. Having more idle TC time than the Chinese player as Malay is not great. Like, look at this. It's 600 resources. Oh, my goodness. I guess it's more like 400 resources, but still. I'm kind of curious as to what these vills are up to. I mean, I guess build a tower over here, but you would then have no military to follow it up. Maybe you're just going for a forward archery range and just going for, like, trash and stuff? Let's see. Yep, there's the tower. And Overtaken will reach feudal age pretty quickly. And he even has the villager lead right now, but it's gonna... Wait. The scout picked off a villager somewhere. And Overtaken also lost one to a boar. Wow. Yikes. Unbanned? Well, again, if you're Prisma, who has the first pick in the draft, leave them unbanned. Because either your opponent bans them and you just pick them first, or your opponent does ban them and then you can ban an extra civ. It's literally just on Overtaken. Oh boy. Defensive towers incoming. You're still 300 resources behind right now as our blue player. Got a bunch of scouts queued up. Got double bit axe in for yellow, but not for blue. Trying to go on over to stone. At least the stone is relatively safe over here. I mean, that's something for sure. Well, poor fishing ships are fishing shipping. You do have those cheap fish traps, which is very nice. as it is difficult to secure food income on this map that isn't, you know, easily harassable. But Archery Range coming in here for Prisma. Prisma's just like, you know what? I will just never be on the defensive this game, and then my exposed food income won't matter. Oh my goodness, not even with the barracks done right now is Overtaken. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Gracious mercy me. Vill's helping out. Oh my god. Guys. Oh my god. It's funny because Yellow's like out of food at this point. Like no food income whatsoever. You got 8 on gold, and I have no idea what he's spending gold on because he never built the archery range. Oh my goodness, guys. I mean, if he had any amount of food income right now, then this would be like super turbo over, but he doesn't. Oh my god. Look at this. This is so stupid. Congrats! You can make a spearman. You can't afford a spearman. Or at least not a spearman in Bills. Now he's gonna try and build a mill over here. I mean, between one of the games in the last series and this game, like, this is just some really one-sided AoE too, man. Double ranges here. Archery range trying to be built at the back, but it's not like you can really afford anything. Now getting more farms down here as Prisma. Overtaken can afford more towers, and he absolutely needs to be building one. He has a skirmisher coming in. Now you're gonna go after the fish traps, too. Jeez. Yeah, let's just get more vills, why not? No fletching in yet, to be fair. TC does get a couple kills it probably shouldn't have, and there's fletching coming in now. We're at least getting some downhill hits. I guess the galley will ensure that this tower comes in, but... Oh my goodness. Is he gonna go after the frickin' galley with archers? They deal 1 damage. What's happening here? Somebody decided to not ban Chinese on this map. Well. Yeah. That just happened. From the China, like the Dr. Agenstar build order, I think is actually totally fine if you're against literally any other civ, but Chinese are just too good. And like I keep saying, if you have the first draft pick, you don't have to ban Chinese. Either your opponent bans them, and neither of you get to play them, or your opponent doesn't ban them, and you pick them first every single time. And in this case, that person is Prisma. All right. Last game of the day. Gonna be on S. Lopez. Estonian Student Society. I did not know that. I can beat that? Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, guys, we're here on a much more normal map. It is going to be Slopes, and it will be the classic slope civ of Hindustanis. Remember when Slopes was always Indians and Mongols? I remember. Anyway, it will be Overtaken here to the northeast, and to the southwest in the yellow as the shoe, it will be Prisma. S. Lopez. I did say S. Lopez. Oh, boar coming in. Seems like the timing is a little bit off. Had such a cool flag. Unfortunately, it required them to be in the Soviet Union, which I don't think was something that the Estonian populace was very happy about. Unless they were the Russians who moved into Estonia. So lonely on YouTube? Well, yeah, I mean, I've been streaming on Twitch for 8 years, and I've been streaming on YouTube for like half a year. And YouTube has a much smaller audience in general anyway. Is that hell steep? Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, as far as Hindustanis versus Shu goes, I mean, both civs are good. And it's kind of like the Jurchens-Persian matchup, where like both civs are just, you know, good. Don't really think we can give one civ a big edge over the other. The disrespect gate. But yeah, pushing in the ibex / deer from the side. And then you go drop the mill over here when you are able. Another boar coming in here for our shoe player. And now, no, the mill's actually going to be at home. Interesting. I wonder if this is going to be for a very fast archer rush. You know, Overtaken is going over here to the side. How are Shu? I mean, again, I think Shu are fine. Shu are almost always fine. They're just a strong civ in general. Do you want to scout rush with Shu? Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Achoo for the Shu. Shoobop shadoo. Shoobada-bop-a-dop-a-day. That the content creators will not get early access to the new civs? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. This is from Tarzan? Oh yeah, I think I remember that. Alright, barracks coming up here on the side. In a completely unrelated news, I still have a ton of work to do after I get off of the stream. Still no Vills on gold, though, here for Prisma. And again, he's just, like, not taking the side resources, which feels like it's a huge mistake. Working as a content creator. You know, the thing I do. Stable coming in. But yeah, I mean, you just get free food. Impression Smith. Yes, that's what I'm so good. Oh no, he is. I mean, yeah, his opening scouts is Shu, which already feels a little weird. It's not like you can't do it. It's just, is this really playing to your Civ's strengths? My work rate? Yeah, my work rate's very good. Now the quality, not so good. Well, you know, it's as good as I can make it. Randoming Shu going Scout's fine. Specifically picking Shu versus Hindustanis on this map and then going Scout's a little weird. Well, gonna be a nice easy kill here for our blue player. And one goes down on the other side, though. So, I mean, Scouts in general are a very good opening. Usually you want to open Men-at-Arms or Scouts because your opponent is over here just trying to get the resources on the side. My movement rate is slower than a war elephant without husbandry. Yeah, probably. Well, assuming that the 0.8 tiles per second is the basically average adult walking speed, I guess I'm a little bit faster than that because I walk really fast. Probably like a Berberville, man. She was just like, you know, you want to pick a Civ that is always going to be at the very, very tippy top of the power curve, right? In a tournament setting. And Hindustanis do this whole basic thing better. That said, I mean, I guess if it works, it works. I guess the Spearman just got picked off too easily. So I guess it doesn't matter anyway. So, everyone hating on that Shu Scout Rush? Where are you now? Probably didn't think that the Shu would be opening Scouts. Yeah, I have no idea how the Scouts got that much damage done. That's pretty wild. Camels and pikes? Yeah, but you don't really need to commit to that. As Overtaken. Like Magyars, I know! What a wild concept. Anyway, Prisma way ahead in resources right now. It's not that bad. But that's exactly what we're saying, Sauerbearer. It's not a matter of is it bad? It's more a matter of is this the top S tier thing that you could do when you're in a tournament match, you have 5 civs you can choose from, all that good stuff. Like, is this the civ you pick? For example, Shu were actually picked before Magyars. So if you wanted to do this, why not just pick Magyars? They're better at it. Only one range because pros have an obsession of putting too many vills on gold too quickly. Except for Hera, and Hera uses it to get extra farms down, and then that's one of the reasons Hera has such an insane win rate. Surprise very high. The thing with AoE 2 is that surprise strategies aren't generally very good. It's usually better just to outplay your opponent, and it's much more consistent because that's something that's in your control. Hoping your opponent doesn't play or react properly is not going to be the most efficient way to win a game. It's not like StarCraft where those sorts of hidden surprise builds are much, much more powerful. Because you don't typically just have the ability to, like, instantly win the game. If you catch your opponent off guard. And again, this is mostly just Overtaken not reacting properly to the scouts anyway. It's not like it was a super surprise scout rush with a forward stable. But again, if you just outplay your opponent, then it doesn't really matter. Now you have archers with fletching coming in, and this is all sorts of awful for blue. Up, up. Yeah, it just seems like Prisma's the better player today. But it's not on Steam. It is not on Steam, and it's a very high skill floor game, just like AoE 2 is. Well, that was one-sided. Two very one-sided series today. But that should put Prisma at least pretty close to guaranteeing first place in his group. Yeah, Prisma's now 4-0 with a 9-3 record. If that isn't very close to guaranteeing first place, I don't know what does. And Overtaken's probably pretty close to being eliminated. Background? What? Anyway, what's tomorrow? Apache versus Z40. Oh, that's actually just default in AoE 2. Although, for maybe some special reason, I put it on as opposed to my normal one. All right, so it looks like 8 a.m. tomorrow my time, so like 14 GMT is going to be Apache versus Z40, so we'll try and cover that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, and maybe some other cool stuff will be happening as well. We will see. See you guys then.